Rosalia has found herself caught in the middle of a very interesting conversation, and fans on social are pointing out that although the singer who is from Spain is making waves in Latin music, she should not be called Latinx. Now, Rosalia is currently covering Vogue Mexico's August issue, in which the magazine is including her in a list of 20 artistas latinos, or Latin artists, quote, que ponen a bailar al mundo. They're, obviously making the world dance. And the internet is divided. Now, should we be including people born in Europe, specifically in Spain in this case, under the Latinx umbrella? And if not, where should they be categorized?
So the question is, why does she have to be categorized anywhere?
Bingo.
Number one.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer, right?
One.
Yes.
That's number two.
And I do think she's Latinx because we got a little history training like an hour ago.
Manolo!
Woo!
Right, the actual history goes that, countries like France and Italy, Romania, the language derives from Latin, the Latin language.
Right.
So yes, they are Latin. But I think specifically here we're talking about the Latinoism, the Latinx, which of course represents Latin America. And some people were saying, hey, Rosalia is not that, because she's from Spain, so let's not confuse the two.
She's European.
Look, I think it's Spanish language music, right? And obviously we feel a connection to it, regardless if you're from Latin America and from Spain. And so for me, I number one, like you said, don't need the categories. Like, I'm just not that into it, but it's a different world that we live in, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think why they can't just see it as a positive thing. Like, if they're including her in the Latinx, hey, we're including her. Like, that means we love her. So why wouldn't you want to cheer on, like, hey, now she's part of another category too, not just Europeans, but the Latin. Like,
I don't know if you guys
celebrate it.
I don't know if you guys know this, but like a few years ago when Enrique Iglesias was at the top of his game and just killing it on the charts, he was actually called the king of Latin pop, right? The king of Latin pop. And nobody had a problem with it. Nobody had. Now, I just mentioned we live in a different world, right? Maybe it's because, like, when Enrique was like at the top of his game, it was nobody really cared.
No one was
as sensitive, perhaps.
And
all
there
of these
wasn't
things.
social media that was that strong for people to be able to go in and comment something negatively behind a screen.
Right.
Where now it's so easy to be like, no.
That's true. That's such a true, statement
That's
right there.
just unfair because, like, for example, Rosalia is not like she's said herself, first of all, that she's like Latina, one, and two, she's always been super true to her like roots. If you see, even in her collaborations with Latin artists, she's always like singing flamenco, and she's super Spanish. So like, I don't see why.
No, you're right about that. When I go to Europe, I've been to obviously Austria, Czech Republic, Sweden, and everything, and I feel like I'm in another place, right? When I'm in Spain, I feel a connection,
one of them,
right? I feel a connection because of the language. It's the language that unites us, that links us together. It's the Spanish language.
Is very similar.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in thinking that, but I'm just like, hey, Spain, you're one of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I feel. And despite, of course, being here, I feel like we have the Caribbean, we have South America, we have like different sectors to what Latinx is. I could be wrong, obviously, but that's how I feel. Like, it's just we have different flavors and different styles from all over.
I just think it just goes back to me, the first thing that you said. Like, why do we have to categorize it? Like, I think we should just celebrate it. Like, this is a woman that right now is killing it in the music game. So kudos to you. And if she's from Europe, if she's from, whatever island, then let's just celebrate her.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I go back, we actually were talking when we were having a meeting about this, and we talked about, the Latin Grammys, and like, so, could she be nominated or all that? But, Latin Grammys goes back to the language of it all, right? In fact, Latin Grammys is in Spanish and in Portuguese, because again, we're going back to the whole like Latin roots. And so I just think for people to just jump on this and say Rosalia, should not be considered that, I just find it almost
absurd,
petty in a way, right? I get that. We should be proud of who we are. We should be proud of being Latinx.
But she is very proud of everything
it's not even her.
But let's not exclude.
Exactly.
Let's not exclude.
That's what I said.
It's not even her. Again, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate.
Let's celebrate. And let's, as long as she keeps on coming out with good music and makes us dance, right? Yeah. Well, you know what? It's not just us that have opinions. We asked you on social what you thought, and this is what you said. Oklusilu says, I do because their native language is Spanish. House Quintero says, nope, they are Hispanic from Spanish roots, but not Latinos. Latinos are from Latin America, not Europe. So House Quintero there with his quote. Francis Bertrand says, Hispanics, and then with like that little smiley
Latinx,
face.
but
Like Latinx, but Hispanics.
That's cool.
Hispanics. Richie Tree says, they make Latin music, so why not? That's what I say, yeah.
If you want to know about Little Xan or the Oscars
Fashion.
or fashion.
Or Meghan Markle.
Or Meghan Markle, what else?
We always want to know about
Look at
Meghan
you.
Markle. You know what you guys have to do?
Royals.
Press a button that says subscribe.
That's it. It's easy.
Easy like not me.
Easy peasy.